Good morning, everybody. Jeanne Bellew, Duffels and Dogs. How are you this morning? Hey, before I get started, I just wanted to address a couple of comments that I got on the last couple of videos. It was kind of funny. So people ask me, where did you get that background from? So I just want to assure everybody that this is a live background. This is not a green screen. So yes, I am sitting here a quarter mile from my house on Playa Potrero here. And it is not a green screen. So I just want to address that. So welcome everybody. Again, thank you for joining. Thank you to all our subscribers. Much appreciated. And if you're new to our channel and this is your first video, please feel free, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you can be notified if there's any new videos that come up. And I'm sure you'll get a lot of value out of them. So we appreciate the follows and look forward to providing you guys with great information. So today's video is part 2 of driving in Costa Rica. So if you haven't seen part 1, feel free to go back and watch that. But in that video, I was talking about sort of the fun and not so fun parts of driving in Costa Rica. And the experience we had with an accident a month and a half ago, coming home from Costa Rica, San Jose, Costa Rica. And I had promised you guys that I would go over or keep you posted on the process. Like what does it look like after you have the accident? What is it, what happened, right? How does insurance work? How did the police handle it? How do you go through the process? So it's a little bit more, it's different than the US or in North America. So the accident was not our fault, but we, even though the police show up and they write up a minor report, that's really not the end of it. So what we had to do at that point was, we had 10 days after the accident to actually go to the courthouse in the jurisdiction where the accident happened, and in person give a statement of what happened. And they, a person sits at their computer, and I had a translator, by the way, because they did not speak English in this particular courthouse that was in a small town a few miles from where we are, about 20 kilometers or so. So you give a full report. It's almost like being in a deposition, right? So you go through exactly what happened, all the details that you could remember, whatnot, and they put it all into an official record at the courthouse in person. So you have to do that. And again, we used a translator who happened to be from our attorney's office. So after that, then you get a copy of that, and you send a copy of that to the insurance company. And then the insurance company gives you a list of places to go to get your car checked out, or places you can go to get it assessed and fixed, right? So we took it, then we went to one of the places, which by the way was a wonderful experience. They checked out the car, they made another complete report and sent that to the insurance company. And about 10 days after that, the insurance company comes back and says, look, everything looks good, blah, blah, blah. Now we need the full report. So the report that I went to the courthouse to get was just the one in the moment, right? But then there's after that's processed at the courthouse and they put all of their official stamps on it and whatnot, there's a broader report that now will come out that may or may not include the other person who was involved in the accident and their report, right? So they also had 10 days to go in and do the same thing we did. So they combine those reports, put their seal of approval on it from the court's point of view. So we have to go back this week, get a copy of that report. It cannot be sent electronically. So we actually physically have to go to the court and request this report, which they will print out. And then we will scan that and send that to the insurance company. So it's a multi-step process, kind of convoluted, so it's not quick, but it's different. So that's the process so far. We're not 100% done yet, but what's going to happen now is once they get that report, they've already okayed the quote from the place. So as soon as they get that, they will notify the place that we're going to get it fixed, that everything's copacetic, that we can go ahead and get the work done. They will order the parts, and at that point, we will wait until they get the parts before we take the car in. And parts here for cars, it could be a week, it could be 3 or 4 weeks, it could be maybe even longer, depending on the make and model of the car. So the whole process is pretty drawn. It's going to probably from start to finish is going to take about a month and a half to get it all fixed. Now the car is drivable and everything's good, so it's not we're not without a vehicle, or we didn't have to rent a car or anything. So that's the update on driving in Costa Rica. I do want to include in this, which I didn't include in the first part, was when you're driving here, whether you're on vacation or you're here for a longer period of time as a digital nomad or whatever, just and this is common sense, but just make sure that you have a full copy of your passport, including the page with the entry stamp on it, because if you don't have that, we don't carry our real ones, but we have a color copy of our passports, and we have a color copy of the page with the entry stamp on it, because that will get you in trouble. You'll have some heartache around that if you don't have it. You can use your U.S. driver's license, but you must have your Social Security, your passport, and the entry stamp picture with you with that. And of course, if it's a rental car, have the rental car contract and whatnot, and you'll just be fine. But that is a must. So I just want to remind everybody that that's the way that goes. Other than that, the adventure continues as far as the car. If anything major comes back up, I'll let you know, but it looks like we're towards the tail end of that, and it's been quite the experience. So that's part 2. Have a wonderful afternoon, evening, morning, wherever it is your time when you're watching this. Pura Vida, Duffels and Dogs, out.